It's 4 in the morning and we're heading up to Cerro Torre again, which we did like a couple weeks ago. But this time I'm hiking with only my 35mm lens and my RP. I wanted to be lazy. That's real talk. I just wanted to be lazy. So the RP weighs 485 grams. The 35mm weighs like 300, so 800 grams worth of camera gear. Plus I brought 2 filters and that's it. So should be an easy hike today. Sure beats the 20 kilos we did last time. We made it to Laguna Torre. I'm being lazy, so I'm gonna sit on a rock. But we made it up in like lightning speed time. The guy that was leading the pack has like giraffe legs. We were flying. We made it in 2 hours, which is awesome. Last group, it took about 3 hours, so we're really, really early. It was so nice hiking with just the 35mm RF lens and the RP. This whole setup in my hand is less than a kilogram, which is wicked. Obviously I have my tripod, I have a couple filters, and the camera bag itself, I think the camera bag probably weighs more than this setup, which is crazy. I'm not like totally risking this. It's not like I'm going somewhere I've never been and just taking a prime lens and winging it and wishing for the best. When I was going through my images from last time we were here, I was looking and the 24mm and 16mm shots are just too wide. They don't have a lot of power. So I think 35mm is probably the best way to go up here, and I think I have some tricks to get around it if I need to go wider too. So we're gonna wait for the stars to drop and the sun to come up, and hopefully we get some alpine glow and some nice light. This location changes all the time. This is now our 4th time coming here, and every time we come here the water levels are different. And I've been walking up and down the waterfront trying to find anchors and leading lines and basically anything for a composition. And I found something really important is that what you need to do on these workshops is just follow one of the participants. So one of the participants, who's Chris, and I'll link her Instagram down here, came all the way down here and found the one part of the lake that actually has a brilliant reflection. Farther down it's all frozen. Up here we have perfect reflection. So I've totally killed the idea of a foreground, and instead I'm just doing 35mm wide. It's a bit of a squeezed frame, but I have no other options. And yeah, perfect reflection. Hopefully when the sun starts to pop, we'll get some alpine glow on this, and this will come out really cool. Yeah, so the light happened, but like for a split second, it was crazy how quickly the alpine glow happened. Everybody was really concerned about the reflection disappearing. I was a little bit concerned about actually the alpine glow not happening because there is some cloud on the horizon. But we got some really, really, really nice alpine glow for a solid 5 to 12 seconds. And we did get some really beautiful photos out of the 35mm. It's one of these things that I think if I would have brought all my gear out, I still would have only shot this one shot. So yeah, I definitely have no regrets from the 35mm this morning. And we're gonna wait around to see if the light punches through again, but I think we're probably done for this morning already. Well, we've already packed up and we're leaving. We've literally only been here for 20 minutes after sunrise. We left at 4, took us 2 hours. We got here at like 6:20, and then we were here for a solid 2 hours before sunrise, wandering around, exploring, trying to find a composition, eventually settling on the most obvious composition, maybe the best one though. The big, huge, open reflection, and it's awesome. But it's kind of funny because we're out here, you know, 2 hours hiking, 2 hours of exploring and location scouting, and eventually just got 2 minutes worth of photo taking. So a lot of walking for a couple photos, but definitely better than a lot of walking for no photos. Conditions were awesome. The light popped off for a couple seconds. The camera handled perfectly. Didn't need anything else. And now I think, yeah, we're gonna walk back and maybe I'll take a couple more snapshots as we go. So I never shoot macro photos. I used to shoot them for ages, but this 35mm RF has macro capabilities, and this morning there's frost all over these trees, so I'm kind of messing around. Obviously it's not like a great photo, it's just, they're snapshots, but it's just so cool to see this frost on these fall colors. It just looks so vibrant, it's just awesome. So one of my goals of 2019 is to be a little bit more artistic with my shots, not just take the hero image, but try to find some of these details. And I think I've done something here that I kind of like. It's definitely artistic, it definitely doesn't follow any rules of composition, but I've got the macro and I'm going straight down on some of these frost-bitten leaves, and I'm actually throwing the ones on the top out of focus using the manual focus and just spinning the focus wheel until the layer under the top layer is in focus, and the top layer is almost creating like a snowy look. It's definitely artistic. It's definitely different than what I usually do. The RP does focus peaking, so I can really tell what's in focus. Everything lights up really red when it's in focus. So yeah, this is different and it's cool. So I'm filming this on the 35mm, which is why you're so stuck to my face. I also don't have a mic on. But Greg's off filming these umels. And I've never seen a male umel in my entire life. And of course, the day I decide I'm only gonna hike with 35mm, there's a male, a baby, and the mama all beside each other, right in this beautiful fall color. So this is why I end up packing everything all the time, because you never know when stuff like this is gonna happen. They're literally right behind me, across the river, right into the fall colors, and I guess at least we got B-roll of it. Okay, back home from hiking. It was an awesome hike to Cerro Torre. If you ever get the chance to come here to El Chalten, you should definitely do that. And if you can, you should definitely take more than one lens, although I really enjoyed the challenge of shooting just one lens. And I kind of want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about the fact that there's actually another reason why I'm shooting only one lens, or why I hiked up with only one lens, and it's because I'm kind of in a lot of pain. When we were in the Philippines, I was just having so much chest pain that I was actually getting really anxious and stressed, and I was getting a little bit worried that I had something seriously wrong with me. So went to a doctor eventually, and it turns out I have really bad acid reflux from drinking way too much Coke Zero. And secondly, it also turns out that by wearing my camera bag so much, and for my camera bag to be so heavy, when I travel through the airport, for example, it's 15 kilos. With that camera bag being so heavy on my shoulders, it pulls me back like this. And yes, it looks like I'm showing you my breasts. I'm not, I'm just, yeah. Anyway, it pulls my shoulders back like this, and it puts a lot of strain on, I guess, the ligaments or muscles, I don't really know, on my sternum. And so my sternum just has a lot of tears going on whatever that is. And it's really painful at times. For example, if I went to do a push-up, it hurts so much. So the doctor said, yo, B, you gotta chill out a little bit with the camera gear. But of course, when you're hiking and traveling and do it for a living, you kind of can't not bring all your stuff. You have to sometimes sacrifice. And sometimes when I can, I've got to be better at not taking everything. Because the only way that this sternum issue gets better is with a lot of rest. So yes, I wanted the challenge of trying to shoot only the 35mm on that hike. But also, I really need to get better at lessening my gear and not taking everything when I go. I hope also it kind of proved to you guys that you don't need to take everything everywhere you go. When we run these workshops, a lot of times, or almost every single time we go out and shoot, the participants have massive, massive bags that are really, really heavy, and they have way too much stuff in them. Secondly, a new bag, which is the Low Pro Tactic BP 450 AW2. And I love it. It's a really, really good bag, to be honest. I'm always searching for the perfect bag, and this one, it's not perfect. It's really good, but it's not perfect. I still, in fact, prefer my Burton f-stop bag to this one. The Burton f-stop bag is really good, but I broke it pretty bad. Not the bag's fault, definitely my fault. I broke the bag, and so it's sitting in the UK waiting for me to return there to when I can fix it. And this one's kind of the replacement until I can do that. This bag, though, is really, really good. I got it off Amazon, kind of just winging it and wishing for luck and hoping it would work. And it is really good, especially for travel. It's really rigid and hard, so you can stuff it in the overhead and not really worry about it. You can bang it about and not really worry about it. You can treat it really roughly, as I do, and not really worry about it. But it's just not big enough. It's slightly too small, and it really frustrates me that this top pouch doesn't have a pouch to it. It's kind of just exposed to the rest of the camera bag, and so if you put like a battery in it, it slides down and you lose it, or it just ends up within your camera gear. It does have small pouches on the side, but they're not great. So yeah, I love it. It's a great bag. Most people I know that use it absolutely love it. And I think that's it for this video. I should mention that these photography challenge things that I've done, like the black and white photography and now this one, they're gonna probably become a mainstay to the channel. I love the vlog style videos, but I kind of also want the videos to have a purpose, or maybe a message or some sort of challenge or something that you guys can take away from it. So I kind of want to try to do better at teaching. I want to do better at giving myself challenges and teach myself lessons that I can then pass on to you guys. So maybe look for today's style a little bit more in the future every now and then. And who knows, I might reach back into Jody's toque of impossible photography challenges and see what other things are in there for me. And that's it. There's a couple more videos from here in Patagonia on their way, and they should be a lot of fun. We are having way too much fun down here in Patagonia. Great groups. Tom and Greg are always entertaining and fun to be around. So yeah, more stuff on the way. I'll see you guys there. Peace.